welcome you to a new season of New York Jets football. Fires one up the seam, and he's got a connection. At the goal line, the push into the end zone. Yes, that's a Jet touchdown.
Jets fans, what's going on? It's great to see you again. Welcome back inside the BetMGM studio for the first episode of JetLife in 2021. I hope you missed us. We missed you, and it's been a long off season. So you know what? Let's just get right to it. Play the clip.
The standard has to stay high. You guys have to keep performing. So we understand what we need to do and how we need to keep progressing forward.
A lot of these guys lean on me, and that's something that I want. I want that pressure. Like I said, I'm ready for it.
Wilson to Davis, get used to that.
How can I just keep getting better and not feel complacent that I'm the guy?
Whenever it's your turn to make the play, you got to make it.
Wilson takes a deep shot and hits his man.
Until you're actually behind the engine and feeling the roar and the vibration, it's different.
Whoever we roll out there, teams better, excuse my French again, buckle their
Touchdown, Tyler Croft.
All right, now that you're awake, you're ready to go, maybe a little amped up, let's rewind a little and take a look back at some of the top moments from this preseason, starting with number 3, Elijah Vera Tucker, the rookie hype machine, getting the crowd here at One Jets Drive juiced up. This was the first time fans were back in the stands in over a year, but the rookie duties, they don't stop there. They're mobile. Look at AVT in Green Bay walking out with the lovely employees of Culver's getting some food for the offensive line. No surprise there. Elijah Vera Tucker, thank you for your service. Luckily for him, the rookie duties only last a year. Coming in at number 2, Denzel Mims on 3rd and 18. Little shake and bake, turns upfield, shows the agility, the speed, and the strength at the end. 3rd and 18, got the pile going. That is a first down in every book you could imagine. A great play, but not as good as your top moment from the preseason. Kenny Yeboah putting an exclamation point to end the preseason on a Hail Mary. The Jets would tie this game after a 2-point conversion after this play, 31-31, and that right there is your top moment of the preseason.
So I had just started playing. My brother played a year before me, and he was the reason why I started playing. I was going out to my first game, and I ended up grabbing his shoulder pads and his helmet. He had his mouthpiece, had a nasty mouthpiece too. It was really wide and everything. And to me, like that was my brother, but it was nasty to put in his mouthpiece. But I had no other choice because I didn't have my helmet. I had his helmet, so I had to play like that, and I ended up playing pretty well. So I guess it brought me some luck. That's my first football memory. First game, Pee Wee football, had my brother's equipment.
Some would say that communication is key to a successful defense. So we had a little fun with Marcus May and CJ Mosley to see how well they communicate, but not in the traditional sense. You'll see what I mean.
Is the volume good?
I'm gonna take it off.
That was perfect. Is the volume good?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
I can't hear nothing.
All right, good.
You gotta say it out loud.
You can say it out loud.
My bad. I'm CJ Mosley.
I am Marcus May, and this is Lip Reading.
And this is Lip Reading.
Hamza Nasruddin. Hamza Nasruddin. Linebacker.
Oh, Hamza Nasruddin. Yep. The Warrior.
Hamza Nasruddin, Concord, North Carolina. It means warrior, the lion.
Chicken noodle soup.
Do it again.
Chicken noodle soup.
You gotta.
Chicken.
I don't know what the heck.
Chicken noodle soup.
Chicken?
Yeah, chicken.
Chicken leg.
Noodle soup.
Turkey leg?
Noodle soup.
Soup?
Yeah.
Chicken noodle soup.
Chicken noodle soup.
Chicken noodle soup. Yeah.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
Do it again.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
Who lives in a pineapple under the tree?
Under the sea. I'm swimming. The sea. Who lives in a pineapple?
Pineapple?
Under the
ocean. Sea.
Sea.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go.
What I said the first time? CJ Mosley.
You said my name? Do it again.
CJ Mosley.
Yeah, CJ Mosley.
All right, one more. Susie sells seashells by the seashore.
One more time.
Susie.
Julie?
Susie.
Julie.
Susie.
Judy.
Susie sells seashells by the seashore.
Somebody sold seashells by the seashore.
Who though? Who?
Who?
Yeah, who? Susie.
Tootsie.
Susie.
Trudy?
Who is Trudy? You got it.
I got the T right?
No.
Boosie.
Boosie ain't selling no seashells.
Susie sells seashells by the seashore.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it.
That's it.
We done? That's it. Thank God.
He said Judy.
My favorite was Boosie.
Yes, the tongue twister is Sally sells seashells by the seashore, not Susie, but Susie harder to lip read, and therefore we went with Susie. Needless to say, CJ Mosley's not buying seashells anytime soon from Sally, from Susie, from Judy, from Trudy, or anybody else for that matter. And you know what? CJ Mosley, after opting out last year, is back. He's lighter than ever, and he's hungrier than ever, but you don't just take my word for it. Take his father's. Here's Clinton Mosley in this week's One Jet Strive Wheels Up, presented by JetBlue.
Put these jet shoes on, man, so we can take the real tour. All right, now I'm ready, guys. Well, this room, man, I want to do something that brought back his past all the way up to the future, man. And my first thought was, you know, where can I start at? And I really want to start with the Alabama wall. This wall was initiated. This play was one of the biggest plays and the most heart-wrenching plays of my life.
Need a dozen to get to the first down marker. Jefferson. Interception, threw it away. A horrible mistake. Mosley's got it. Bama.
And this was the turning point for him, in which for our family to make him understand that this game is for real. And that's when I knew he was the serious player that he is today. Now this, as we know, that's CJ's, and that's his little brother Jamie. That day, I cried, man, more than I ever cried in my life. That day, the draft day.
With the 17th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select C.J. Mosley, linebacker, Alabama.
From family, coaches, friends, everybody had a part in that day right there, and we had over 35 people there that day. He did it. He did it. It still hurts me every time, man. He did it. He did it, man. A lot of hard work came before that. A lot. A lot.
You mentioned how that first game against Buffalo was probably the best game you ever played.
No,
and it was unbelievable.
No doubt it was.
Like,
no doubt.
How hard was it for him? How hard was it for you guys to see that season be taken away from him after that?
And as crazy as it sounds, we feel like we cheated the fans more than us, because CJ is a player, and he loves his team. He's a team-oriented player. He loves family, man. So the Jets was his family. So what happens when you get separated from your family, man? It hurts. It hurts. And not just for him. He hurt it more because he wanted to give them everything that they deserve. And we're going to give it to him. I promise you that. We're going to give it to him.
As the Jets begin a new era, a motivated Mosley is ready to write the next chapter in his storied career.
I'm at 231 now when I weighed in, so I haven't been that probably since I got in the league, so I'm ready to go.
You know, everything that he's shown with his work ethic, his the reps and OTAs, he doesn't look rusty to me. I mean, he looks fantastic. He's in amazing shape. He's been here all summer. He asks the right questions, obviously. He's got a tremendous feel for football.
The first day of, I think it was OTAs, first day of OTAs when we broke it down, you know, I asked the guy, like, why do you want to be here? You know, what's your why? I know we talked in the defensive meeting room, you know, I said, man, we got to find each other's why. We got to find what motivates each other. Because every dog's going to have his day. Somebody's going to be down, somebody's going to be tired in the game or practice. But if your brother next to you know why you're here, the reason you're doing things, they can remind you of that and keep you going. So I think this camp is going to be about what's our why as a team. When you come to the Jets, when you step into the building, like, why are you here? Like, why did you sign here? Why did you get picked here? Why did you choose to come here? And once you guys figure that out, that's when
I mean, here's a guy that's, you know, he's lived at the 240s, 245s, and then to understand that in this defense there's going to be a lot of stress on him, especially from a coverage standpoint, where he's going to be put in a lot of situations where he's going to be on speed without help. And got a clear understanding of that in the spring. Worked his butt off this month off. Came back 231, which is like, that's amazing. So excited about what he can do within this defense.
How hungry is he? You know better than anybody, right. But when you look at this season, how hungry is he to prove he's still at the
Okay, can we walk while we talk? Yeah. Come on, let me show you something. And this is going to encompass everything that you just asked me. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you exactly why I said what I just said. Where we're going now is going to answer the exact question that you asked me. A little bit dark in the kiss the light for you. This is what I'm going to show you to answer your question. This is what he's been doing since day one. This is where he's been. Every day. Every day. Through the year he got hurt, through the opt-out year, this is what he's been doing. This is what he has. This is what he's been doing the whole time. This is the way he spent his time at. We keep it no frills. It doesn't have to look pretty because he's been working down here. There's 23 hours out of the day is down here. He sleeps here. He works out here. He gets his treatment here. This is what we've been doing. 23 hours out of the day is down here, man. This is what we've been doing. No TV, nothing. Nothing. This is what he's been doing. This is why he's ready. And I know he's ready. And that's what he's about.
It wouldn't be a JetLife episode without a trivia question, and here's how we're kicking off week one. Which former Jet was the Panthers' assistant wide receivers coach from 2017 to 2019? We'll have the answer when we come back. Welcome back to JetLife. If you're just joining us, we're throwing you right in the fire with our trivia question. So take a deep breath and answer the following. Which former Jet was the Panthers' assistant wide receivers coach from 2017 to 2019? The answer, Jericho Cotchery. Cotchery was a fan favorite in his 7 years with the team. How about that play when he hurt his groin and still came down with the catch? The guy's tough as nails. Anyway, let's check in with senior reporter Eric Allen for our Next Gen Stat.
Welcome to Next Gen Stats. I'm Eric Allen. Zach Wilson will lead the Jets offense in his off-Broadway debut Sunday in Carolina. He'll throw to a vastly improved group of Jets wideouts that includes Corey Davis.
Looks left, fires one left sideline. Corey Davis walls a man off. He's got the first down inside the red zone down to about the 17-yard line.
Wilson to Davis. Get used to that connection.
In preseason action, Davis was targeted a team-high 10 times as he hauled in 6 passes for 88 yards. 30 of those yards came after the catch, and the 6'3", 209-pound Davis could quickly become a go-to guy for his young quarterback. Last season in Tennessee, Davis had 65 receptions for 984 yards, and he scored 5 touchdowns. Among NFL players with at least 60 targets, Davis caught 9.6% of his targets over expected in 2020.
On first down, Ty Johnson bounces one outside right. What a good run for Johnson across the 10.
Nice slashing move by Carter. Breaks away, and Carter has got a first down.
The Jets are going to lean on the run with their wide zone blocking scheme under offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur. That should set up play action opportunities down the field. And 55% of Davis's receiving yards last season came on play action. LaFleur most recently worked with Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco from 2017 through 2020. And the 49ers ranked 7th in the National Football League during that time while utilizing play action on 27% of their dropbacks. The Jets are going to attack vertically, and this is a system Davis has the ability to thrive in. Last season in Tennessee, his average yards per target was 10.7, and that was the second most for any wideout who had at least 984 yards receiving. He's a chains mover, so watch out for Davis on third down after averaging a career-high 15.1 yards a grab for the Titans. Robert Saleh calls Davis a model of efficiency in that he's efficient getting off the line of scrimmage, perfect with his break points, and he continually is able to put his body between himself and the quarterback so the ball only gets to his hands. Corey Davis is a guy Zach Wilson is going to look to early and often.
Road Trip is back for another season here on JetLife. Jets Panthers tomorrow. Let's bring in Jonathan Alexander of the Charlotte Observer. Jonathan, thanks for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, so we got to start off. I know the storylines are going to be about Sam Darnold against his former team. How about Christian McCaffrey, the return of CMC? If you're a fantasy owner, you know what he did in 2019, but how much of a difference is he going to make in this Panthers offense?
I mean, I think he'll make a huge difference. Had 1,000 yards receiving and more than 1,000 yards rushing back in 2019. He's still a young guy, I think 25 years old. Last year he got hurt and they had a lot of plans for him. They wanted to use him a lot and he only played in 3 games. And Matt Rule talked about it on Monday that he's really looking forward to having Christian back because there's just so many things he can do. In past, he's the Panthers' safety net. When they don't have anybody open, they can easily dump it off, and he could just make plays. And he's finally healthy. Those injuries are in the past, and he's looked good so far. So, they have real high hopes for him.
Talking about the Panthers' defense, though, Jonathan, Brian Burns is a player that I think Panthers fans are familiar with, but maybe this is the year where he catapults himself onto the NFL radar alongside Hassan Reddick manhandling that other spot. Do you think that this is the year that he finally takes that double-digit sack jump?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, he had, I think, 8.5 or 9 sacks last year. And he was the defensive MVP of the team, had 3 forced fumbles. What you saw towards the end of that year last year was a lot of teams started to double team him when they figured out how good he was. One of the Panthers' biggest problems was outside of Brian Burns, they didn't really have a pass rush, especially at that other defensive end spot. Yetur Gross-Matos missed some time, and it was his rookie season, didn't really play that well. So people started to put a lot more focus, and now they got Hassan Reddick, a 12-sack player, and you can't put all that focus on Brian Burns. And Brian Burns is entering his 3rd year and he can only get better. So, I think Brian Burns will continue that, and I do think he'll have a double-sack season, and you might see him make the Pro Bowl.
Who's a player that we have not talked about, whether that's offense or defense, that you think needs a little more attention?
I think Jeremy Chin is one of those players. He was a front runner for Defensive Rookie of the Year, lost to it by Chase Young, who was the overwhelming favorite. But if you talk to voters, Jeremy Chin was second. Few people even voted for him. I think he has an amazing potential. He was a second-round pick for the Panthers last year. Last year, he played linebacker. It was his first time in his whole career playing linebacker, but they moved him to his natural spot as safety, and I think that gives him a lot more flexibility to do what he's natural at. He's a ball hawk, a really great tackler. So I think that's a guy who you definitely want to keep your eye on. People are starting to know who he is, and that's because of his play.
For the Jets here, if they're competitive in this game, where do they need to poke and prod, whether they're on offense or on defense?
Definitely with their defense, they've got to get after Sam Darnold and kind of expose that offensive line of the Panthers. I think one of the things where Sam Darnold struggled, and you know this, and I've looked at him on film, is when that pressure got to his face, he kind of got happy feet, kind of rushed in the pocket, and threw off his back foot. And I think, that's one of the things he's been working on this offseason, his footwork, trying to stay poised in the pocket. In the preseason game, he had a couple times where he kind of got a little antsy and rushed when the pressure got to his face, like in the Pittsburgh Steelers preseason game. But he says he's getting a little bit better at that, and then has been working on that. But I think if the Jets want to expose the Panthers, they'll definitely expose the left side of that offensive line.
All right, Jonathan, we're gonna end up here with a softball. Being a Carolina native, Carolina barbecue better than Texas and Kansas City barbecue, or how do you power rank them?
I don't think I've had Texas barbecue, but I've had Kansas City barbecue, and Carolina barbecue is definitely the best. My sister lives in Houston, so if Houston barbecue was better, she would have put me on by now. So Carolina barbecue, let me reiterate, North Carolina barbecue is the best. And there's South Carolina, and they have their own barbecue, but it's not nearly as good as North Carolina barbecue.
But are you on Kansas City one, then North Carolina, or are you going North Carolina and paying homage to your roots here?
North Carolina is the best. Kansas City is good. Kansas City isn't bad, but it can't compare with North Carolina barbecue.
And that is okay, so wait. For those, if you're a Jets fan, if you're going down to Carolina or you're in Carolina, maybe just the next time somebody is in Carolina, where should they go for Carolina barbecue?
They need to go to the eastern part of the state. That's where the real barbecue is. It's less than an hour away. Lexington has really good barbecue too. So you have your two different barbecues.
Jonathan, thanks for joining us today.
I appreciate you having me on.
All right, and on the other side of the break, we're going to talk about Brady, but not that Brady, a different kind. You'll see what I mean on the other side.
My name is Brady, and I'm your Atlantic Health System Kid reporter. Today I'll be interviewing Keelan Cole.
What's up, Brady?
I have a few questions for you. If you had one superpower, what would it be? Or if you were a superhero, what would you be?
Teleportation. So I can be in more than one place quickly.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Is cereal a soup? Why or why not?
Ooh. Well, considering I don't eat soup and I eat cereal, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
But why not? That's actually hard because I want to say it is soup, but I can't because I don't like soup and I eat cereal.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pass on that with an in between. I don't know.
If you were an animal, which animal would you be?
A kangaroo.
Nice.
What animal would you be?
Me too. I would be a polar bear because I like the cold.
I'd be a kangaroo because I like the heat and I like to look strong and jump with my tail.
Mm-hmm. That's a cool helmet.
Appreciate it. It goes with my Power Ranger. It goes with my Power Ranger costume.
Nice.
I wear it every Sunday.
Cool. Any questions for me?
You play football?
No, I don't.
Why not?
I don't know. I play basketball. I'm kind of tall.
Oh, you play basketball. Oh, you kind of tall. I could tell. You almost as tall as me on the camera. I could see that. How tall are you? You know?
I'm like 5 something.
How old are
Not
you?
really sure. I'm 12.
Okay, 5 something at 12. That's enough. I'm sure you got to get 5 something eventually. You're gonna be 6 something by the time you start getting ready for the NBA. Can you shoot? Can you shoot a dunk?
Yeah, I could dunk and I can shoot pretty well.
Oh, you can dunk. You can dunk on a 10-foot rim.
No, not on 10 foot, but like
Man, I
if
believe
it's
in you.
lower.
I believe in you.
Do you have any hobbies?
Yeah, I like to play football, and then I started getting paid for it. So then I really haven't found another hobby. But you like to play basketball, right? So I guess I'll try to play basketball with you every once in a while. Where's you from again? What's the name of the town again?
Cedar Knolls.
Cedar Knolls. So if I see you at the park at Cedar Knolls, I'll start my new basketball hobby.
Okay. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you for the interview, Brady. I hope you call me back
Bye.
for more. Bye.
All right, it's time to wrap up the show with a mailbag segment. Thanks for sending in your questions on Twitter. And let's start with question number 1 from Alex, who wants to know, do you think that the Jets will let Zach Wilson sling the ball downfield, or do you expect a passive offense like in the preseason? Well, Alex, I want to say this. I don't think the offense was passive in the preseason, and I'll say that I don't know the answer to your question exactly, but this offense is predicated on running the ball and making their pass plays look like their run plays. That way you fool the defense and you get chunk plays with play action. So I expect a heavy dose of the running backs, not only in week 1, but all the way through week 18. Question number 2 comes from Kevin. What game are you looking forward to watching the most? Might be a cop-out answer, but really for me, it's all 17 games. This is a new era of Jets football, and it starts tomorrow at Carolina with Robert Saleh's first game as a head coach, Zach Wilson's first game as Jets quarterback, and it all comes against a familiar foe, of course, and Sam Darnold under center for the Carolina Panthers. Question number 3 comes from Adam. Your favorite uniform combination for both home and road? Now, I know everyone's going to say, oh, the obvious answer is stealth black. I love the stealth black uniforms, but there's something about the spotlight white top and bottom combination. The all-white look is clean, it is crisp, it works for home games, it works for road games. For example, when the Jets play the Falcons in London this year, no, I don't know that that's what they're going to wear. I'm just saying it works everywhere. And that's how we put a bow on that mailbag segment. Keep sending in those questions every week, and that's all we have for this episode of Jet Life. We'll see you next week.